It is based on the river Kwai from 1957. I don't know where this is filmed. Okay, some grapes. This is in Japan. I could be wrong. Constructing the railway. Small huts. So they have captured some British.
Those new prisoners see us digging graves, they might all run away.
Time for jokes. Finish well.
Hey, how about putting us on sick list?
Go on, have our captain.
No sick.
Never sick. Why you always play sick? I give you butt this morning. Both of you.
That's what I mean.
But
I want to return the favor. Goodness of his heart, like you gave me that butt this morning. I remember it to keep this lighter. Look at that English kid we just buried over there. He willed that lighter to...
Okay, you go on the sick list. Him too.
okay. Generous.
Colonel Saito's gonna catch you bribing.
You know, Weaver, I've forgotten who we just buried.
Thompson.
0123456.
Easy to
Died of
remember.
Barry in the year of our Lord 1943. Did he die for?
Ah, come off it. No need to mock the grave.
Rest in peace. Found little enough of it while he was alive.
This in Japan. Just for the pen.
米軍捕虜、まもなく到着いたします。
This is a new one.
You're gonna be a busy pair of grave diggers, Weaver. Well done, well done.
What's in the box?
That colonel doesn't know what he's in for.
My name is Nicholson.
I am Colonel Saito. Fair Majesty, I am the commanding officer of this camp along the Great Railroad, which will soon connect Bangkok. British prisoners have been chosen wearing skill.
Pleasant.
Officers will work in this army cannot have idle mouths. You do not work hard. You will be punished. We are an island in the jungle. Escape is impossible. Tomorrow you will begin.
In the middle of the island.
Let me remind you, we have been our work. Stand there, please. All right, Major Hughes. Stallion, stand easy.
I'm going to have a word with this fellow.
Very good.
Colonel.
You have overlooked the fact that the use of officers for manual labor is expressly forbidden by... I happen to have
Forbidden.
a copy of
Everything is not gonna let that slide through. It's running. Wants them to be in the rear.
Hilly Hill, sir.
Oh, sir, this is Commander Shears of the United States Navy. What's left of the prisoners who built the camp.
the U.S. Navy out here.
For a deep-water sailor, I am sort of landlocked. Sure when she went down, but I got separated from the other survivors.
And your group here?
Mostly Aussies, some Indians, Burmese, Siamese.
And what happened to them?
Died. Dysentery, beriberi, gangrene. Other causes
Also
of death,
depend
famine.
decisions.
We'll finish that shave later. All right?
Stay with the officers, of course. And we'll scrape up some decent clothing.
Oh, don't bother about me.
Officers in your party did manual labor.
I think you could call it that.
Actually, I raised that very point with Colonel Watson. I say he seems quite a reasonable type.
So about that.
Well, I must be pushing on. Lipton, there's an officers' meeting at 6.
Think of a lot of things to call Saito. But reasonable. That's a new one. The odds against a successful escape are about 100 to 1.
Right.
But may I add another word? The odds against survival in this camp are even worse.
Why haven't you tried to escape, Commander?
Waiting for the right moment, the right company.
I understand how you feel. Before, we were ordered to surrender by command headquarters. Ordered, mind. It might well be an infraction of military law.
Tend to uphold the letter of the law, no matter what it costs.
Without law, Commander, there is no civilization.
Here, there is no civilization.
Yeah,
Then we have
no
to
law here.
subject. Men must always feel they are still commanded by us and not by the Japanese. They'll be soldiers and not slaves.
Hope they can remain soldiers, cut a slave. A living slave.
Even for a minute. It's been in isolation too long, poor chap.
Alan! English prisoners! I do not say English soldiers. You will finish the bridge by the 12th day of May. The direction of a Japanese engineer. All men will work Your officers will work beside you. For it is they who betrayed you by surrender. To live like a coolie, then die like a hero. They who brought you here, not I. Join you in useful labor. Their tools.
Ugly! Back in your place. Call your attention, Colonel Saito, to Article 27 of employ as workmen prisoners of war who are physically...
To read Japanese.
Sorry, no, but if it's a matter... It states that the... Diverse in the ranks! What code?
Doesn't speak Japanese.
Of Bushido! Nothing! You're on order of command!
Ourselves absolved from our duty to obey you. My officers will not do manual labor.
All enlisted prisoners to work!
Sergeant Major, take the men to work.
Hey, company! Fire the right! Quick! March!
What's he?
Trying to do exactly.
You will be reasonable. You will order your officers to work.
No.
Yeah, machine gun.
Not on their way to work. I'll give the order to fire. Now go!
Believe me, he's really going to do it.
You will shoot all of them.
I warn you, Colonel Saito.
Oh.
Too many witnesses. You'll never get away with calling it a mass escape. Most of those men can't walk.
Yes, I.
This your soldier's code. Murdering unarmed men.
Just going to live all day in the sun.
So the kind they had in 1914 when your officers went over the top with nothing but a swagger stick.
Yes, sir, I see what you mean.
You don't see what I mean at all. Guts it can get us all killed.
He didn't actually order us not to escape. He only suggested.
Listen, kiddo. When a man like your colonel suggests something, it's an order.
Colonel Saito says, all officers to punishment hut. Not you, please.
No, punishment camp. Escapee. Actually, survive.
1, 2, 3, 4, go! Let go!
You wish to see me?
I've been trying to see you for 3 days. It's about Colonel Nixon. He's been shut up in that hut.
We were in your charge.
I knew nothing about the escape.
2 soldiers shot. The third drowned. 2 for 10. It was an escape from reality. This shows the position of actual progress. Colonel stubbornness. We are far behind the schedule. More shot.
Then who would build your bridge? Besides, are you sure it's sabotage to direct them?
My officers will direct them. Your officers will walk beside
The
them.
rules.
Do not speak to me of rules.
No rules apply, yeah.
He's mad, Your Colonel.
I mean, you kind of need some rules to walk.
To allow you one visit to your Colonel.
Thank you.
Many will die, and he will be responsible. Go and speak to him. You have 5 minutes.
How are the men?
Fine, sir, fine. We scraped together a little meat. And a coconut. They're not so good. They're still in detention. And Lieutenant Jennings. Jennings is dead. Attempting to escape. Also 2 others with him, Corporal Weaver and the American. We haven't much time. To clean you up a little while I talk.
That man's the worst commanding officer I've ever come across. Actually, I think he's mad. Carry on.
Insane.
On a face, pure and simple. And he can't give in.
It's still blackmail.
Wouldn't the officers be better off working than suffocating in that hole? Job, they're going as slow on it as they dare. But Saito's cut their food ration. They're going to die. That's all there is to it.
Yes, clearly it's a matter of principle. If we give in now, there'll be no end to it.
Still resist.
Sir, we're lost in the jungle. at the heel of a man who will stop at nothing to get his way. No one will ever know or care what happens to him.
Will not have an officer from my battalion working as a coolie.
Aye. All right. Hospital contributed one piece. Reynolds stole the coconut.
That American chap was killed.
Yes, sir. Shot and drowned.
He
Insane
doesn't
plan
draw.
escape.
Just looked at us, shook his head. Whatever that means.
Means only one thing. Colonel won't give in.
Colonel Nicholson won't give in to force. It's a question of principle. Protest at the way he's being treated. It's a wonder he's still alive. Tragedy occur, it would be tantamount to murder.
Ah,
I'm both mad. Or am I going mad? Or is it the sun?
the buzzers are waiting. There's a village.
Why does the bridge not progress? Officers are late. You are not happy in your work. Therefore, the bridge does not progress. I do not hide the truth. Refer to Lieutenant Mura. He is a bad engineer, worthy of command. Put him from his post.
Passionate
All
commander.
work and no play make jacket dull. Give presents to you all. Oi, so good morning, Mr. Terry. Hi. Let us be happy in our work.
Red Cross, he's given us our... Hey, he's given us our own Red Cross parcel.
I am having rather a late supper. English corned beef.
Oh, thank you.
Produce of Scotland. I spent 3 years in London, you know. I studied at the London Polytechnic. I was not a good artist. My father disapproved. I belong in the army. Art to engineering.
I must tell you, Colonel, I intend to make a full report of your activities in this camp.
Report.
I do not think you quite realize my position. Serve to complete the bridge by the 12th day of May. Time is short. Officers are working along the entire railway. You know it. I know it.
Only I'm appalled.
Let us not get excited. Habeshika.
No.
I meant you, the commanding officer. My orders were only intended for officers
Sensing position.
majors and above administrative duties, leaving only the junior officers to learn.
Reset.
Bridge is not ready in time.
I haven't the foggiest.
I'll have to kill myself.
I suppose if I were you, I'd have to kill myself.
If I am to die, others will die before me.
Sure we can arrive at a proper solution. Please sit down. Do or do you not agree that the first job of an officer is command?
Of course.
Good. To be frank, I have grave doubts whether your Lieutenant, what's his name?
Miura.
Mura. Eves and Hughes, for instance, who've built bridges all over India.
They are expert in making the bridge.
That the bridge is now under my personal command.
Are you satisfied with the work?
I am not.
Proved my point.
I hate the British. No shame.
No shame.
But have no pride, no courage. I hate the British.
You could say the same thing about you. No water left. And he's sick. Taking the dirty water and in middle of the ocean.
Hang on! Stand down! Stand down! Battalion! Attention!
Looks like he's about to fall.
Declaring a general amnesty. You and your officers may return to your quarters. It is necessary for officers to do manual labor.
He's praying.
Men in your party, Corporal.
Well, I don't really know, sir. One of the men took sick very suddenly this morning, sir, and, well, he took 3 or maybe 4 of the others helped in the hospital, sir.
Corporal should always know exactly how many men he has under him at all times.
Oh, yes.
You're nervous affliction. If not, stop making those faces at once. But it's not military behavior.
No, sir.
Constructed a bridge across a stream like the Kwai.
Yes, sir. Half a dozen of them, Paul. I wouldn't build it here. I was trying to tell you a while ago, sir. The Japanese couldn't have picked a worse location. There's no bottom logs till doomsday, and they wouldn't hold.
Where would you build?
Downstream, sir. Across those narrows. Then we'd have solid bedrock on both
The
banks.
way they're doing it, it's utter chaos, as you can see at a glance. An uncoordinated activity. Some of those parties are actually working against each other.
Cable
I
bridge.
tell you, gentlemen, we have a problem on our... We now command a rabble. There's no order, no discipline. We have the means at hand. The bridge. Western methods and efficiency that will put them to shame. We'll show them what the British soldier is capable of doing.
You mean you really wanted to build a bridge?
They're not usually so slow in the uptake. Keep them occupied. Fact is, if there weren't any work for them to do, we'd invent some, eh, Reeves? It's essential that they should take a pride in their jobs, and Hughes and I will organize it. What do you think? Can we make a go of it?
We'll do our best, sir.
Fine. I'm sorry to tell you that we feel the position of the bridge was fixed rather hastily, and, I have to add, incorrectly. Made a careful study of the site and has come to the conclusion that the river bottom there is too soft.
Too soft.
Mud. All the work up to now has been quite useless.
Below water level before they'd hold. That bridge would collapse under the first train to cross it.
Do you suppose we could have a cup of tea?
Tea.
Hey! Oi! Acha! Hey! Oi! Acha! Oi! Oi!
Build a new bridge at the site selected by Major Reeves, 400 yards downstream. Yard and a half of earth moved to 2 yards. It's in the general interest, and I was sure it would meet with your approval.
The available forces have been badly distributed. I would strongly urge that we revise the organization of the working party.
Carry on working during dinner. Do you suppose it would be possible to have a meal served?
Total daily output can be increased by
50%
30%.
as used.
Colonel Saito, I have one more point.
Most of the British soldiers will be working on the bridge. Only a small number will be available for railway work. Of your own men to reinforce the railway gang so that the final stretch of track can become
Already given the order.
If we made it the same as the British soldiers, that would also create a healthy competitive spirit.
Competitive.
Already given the order.
Me to say thank you, Colonel Saito, for your kind attention, and are there any other questions?
Finish the bridge in time.
Frankly, the consensus of opinion is that it's impossible. Forget that we've wasted over a month through an unfortunate disagreement, for which I was not to blame. At the moment, I'm not concerned with that appreciation. Good night, Clifton.
I'm looking for an American named Commander Shears.
Oh yes, down in the...
This is a guy.
Too many eyes.
You give me powders, pills, baths, and jet when all I need is love.
It's true. All you really need is love. Get a medical discharge.
Because I'm a civilian at heart, lover. And I always follow my heart. Call me Commander. It's unromantic. Now look, you're an officer yourself. How would you like it if I called you Lieutenant Lover?
It's all yours. I'm going for a swim.
Don't leave me.
To intrude on you
Oh,
like
that's
this.
okay, Major. I'm used to it by now. Like a martini?
Well, it's fair.
At a hospital, there's alcohol.
Yes, Force 316. Our headquarters is up in the Botanical Gardens.
Protecting rare plants from the enemy.
We have a particular interest in that railway you worked on. And you could give us no end of very valuable information in a rather special sense. I know it's a terrible imposition, but...
You want to know location?
Oh, that's very kind. Well, tomorrow morning then, about 10.
Okay, 10 o'clock.
Use your knife, man! Use your knife! Very clumsy, Joyce. Very clumsy, Joyce. Immediately, man. You see? He's gained the initiative.
Incredibly sorry, sir.
You're
Wrong person.
So am I, sir. Sorry, sir.
Way to see Major Warden.
Oh, yes, I'll show you the way, sir. He should be finishing his lecture at any moment now. The Major believes in keeping our training as close to real life as possible, sir.
Colonel Green is looking forward to meeting you.
Oh?
Discourages the use of that word. He's come to have such a melodramatic air about it. Plastic explosive. Now, it's wonderful stuff. That last little pop was made with a lump half the size of this. It's quite harmless until it's detonated. Dying for a cup of tea. Cup of tea for one, please, Peter. Very well, sir. Congratulated you on your escape. It was a good show, I must say.
I was lucky.
It's about here.
Say, do your intelligence people have any idea what happened to that Colonel Nicholson? Shoot him and he didn't bat an eye.
Well, I suppose if you're about to be shot, there isn't a great deal you can do. It's Rangoon. Their idea, of course, is to drive on through into India. Japanese aim to open the Bangkok Rangoon section by the middle of May. Too far for bombers to carry an adequate load, so we shall have to go in and smash it up on the ground.
Equipment through that jungle?
Yes. Our
So he's going around there.
is lack of first-hand knowledge. Green has given me the Kwai Bridge. I'm going to take a team in and blow it up.
A luncheon date in Colombo at 2, and she's beautiful, so if there are any questions, I can...
Yes, of course, I'm sorry. One question, actually.
What?
How would you feel about going back?
Going
I
back.
know, under the circumstances, it's a bit much.
Got out of there. My escape was a miracle. Even your people said so, and now you want me to go back? Don't be ridiculous. Oh, let's stop kidding around. I can't go back. I don't belong to you. I belong with my people.
Yes, your navy
Your people.
turned you over in your temporary transfer of duty to Force 316.
They can't do this to me. I really mean it. My Navy's made a mistake.
Oh.
An officer.
Oh.
No, the whole thing's a fake. I'm just an ordinary swab jockey, second class. And sunk. I made it ashore
Yeah,
with an
that
officer.
looks bad.
Real was captured, so
You changed uniforms with the dead man?
but it did me any good because at Saito's camp the officers worked along with the rest.
Yes, there's always the unexpected, isn't
To
there?
myself, let's let it ride along for a while. There were certain definite advantages.
Yes, I saw one of them on the beach.
American commander named Shears, and he doesn't exist. When the Navy brass learns the truth about me, they'll say, ship him home in irons for impersonating. Tell him that I impersonated an officer because I went off my rocker in the jungle. He finds out who I am. Those temporary orders you've got won't be worth the paper they're written.
Our CNC Pacific sent us a copy of your service record. A photograph, fingerprints. We can have a look.
What do you know?
Actual rank for nearly a week.
A week.
That's why they were so happy to hand you over to us. In Force 316. So you'll have a simulated rank of major.
Might as well volunteer.
Good show.
He's going there.
Volunteered to go back and help me blow up the Kwai Bridge.
Really? Only a good show, Major.
Get up to sick bay, Baker. This foot's infected.
The colonel might think I'm malingering.
Will someone tell me why the old man wants us to build up?
He knows what he's doing.
Been most reasonable since we took over.
I wonder what he's thinking.
I haven't the foggiest.
Convinced that building this bridge is a good idea.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Been restored? Their condition has been improved? Are they a happier lot or aren't they?
Doing could be construed as, forgive me, sir, collaboration with the enemy.
We are prisoners of war. We haven't the right to refuse work.
I understand that. If we build them a better bridge than they could have built for themselves.
What the panis.
If you had to operate on Saito, would you do your best or would you let him realize how important it is to show these people that they can't break us in body or in spirit? The war will be over. Remember how it was built and who built it. Not a gang of slaves, but soldiers, British soldiers.
Yeah, it's basically on his side.
The best swimmer in the school, sir, and we'll need a good swimmer.
As I'm well aware of your evaluation, Chapman, the opinion I want is Shears. These gentlemen are thinking of taking you for a little hike into the jungle.
Yes, in 39, I came over to London to enlist, and about 2 years later, I volunteered for this work.
You volunteered?
Sort of reminded me of my job in civilian life. They don't expect you to think.
You'll be able to use it in cold blood. Could you use it in cold blood?
Can you able to do it in person?
Honestly, no, sir. I've tried to
that's
imagine
bad.
myself. I find it hard to kid myself that killing isn't a crime. Am I to go with the team, sir?
We'll let you know.
None of us ever know the answer to that question until the moment arises.
What's your opinion, Shears?
Canadian, and that's in keeping with the international composition of this outfit. You can even take my place.
Well, you've had parachute training, of course.
No, sir.
Last.
No.
Better arrange some practice jumps for him immediately.
I'll pop over and check with Freddie right away.
I don't realize what a plum you are for us. Your knowledge of the area, you're making friends in that village. The new L pill. Spontaneous, painless. Much better than the old ones. For capture, of course. If you get hurt or wounded on the trek, the others will have to leave him behind. The objective comes first in our work.
Warden I don't get.
No? Why not?
Oh, Cambridge Don and all of that. You know, it's one thing for him to play around with explosives like a kid with...
Stay behind and blow up a couple of bridges, 1 or 2 trains, and...
I don't think a few practice jumps would be worthwhile.
No?
No.
They say if you make one jump, you've only got 50% chance you're bound to catch a packet. The consensus of opinion is that the most jump and hope for the best.
With or without
Hope
parachute.
for the best.
He's in the trees. the Kwai by the route you took. There are too many Japanese patrols now. We'll have to swing north through heavy jungle. We'll have to use women bearers.
Women bearers?
No, they're very capable, I'm told. Enemy post about 3 miles away, so we shall have to sleep in the jungle.
What about Chapman, sir?
Tell me why I'm so indispensable to this outfit.
I know how you feel. But there's always the unexpected, isn't there?
Tell that to Chapman.
Let's get cracking.
A muddy river.
You're lovely.
Be happy in your work.
Yes, sir.
Leeches.
Lace.
She's telling you to hold still. She wants to take the leeches off your back.
Like this.
I'll teach you to say that in Siamese, if you like.
Much talk always spoils it.
What's wrong with that thing, Joyce?
I don't know, sir. It's taken an awful beating.
Corroded. Rotten. Like everything else in this rotten jungle. You might as well dump it.
Tokyo signing off. This is your friendliest enemy, reminding you to take it easy.
Stay here much longer, we'll be up to our necks.
I've got it all decoded, sir.
Right, read it.
Reported abandoned. New construction downstream from first sight. With passage of special train, Bangkok for Rangoon, with troops and VIP. Estimated to
That would be something.
Yes, sir, that would really be a show. Can we get there in time, sir?
Well, the eye says we're 2 to 3 days' march from the Kwai. Go for the train, don't you think?
Oh, by all means. Good hunting. Good.
Fix the radio, we wouldn't know about the train.
Well, there's always the unexpected, isn't there?
Going to finish the bridge on time.
Oh.
We just haven't the manpower, that's all. I've asked the officers to lend a hand, and they've agreed, but even that, I explained the situation to them, and they volunteered to a man. But this is our show. We must make the most of our own resources. As a matter of fact, that's what I came to talk to you about. The sickly reflection on you, but there are always a few malingerers, aren't there? Be honest now. Keep an open mind, that's all I ask.
Malingerers.
Come along. Come on.
Yes, and sick out there.
In Blackwater fever. His temperature was 104. Lift a leg if I do some more cutting tonight. Do you really want to send him out to work, sir?
Don't talk rot, Clifton.
So run down, their wounds won't heal properly.
Yes, but I wonder in a case like his, if fresh air and light keep a man in hospital just because he's scratched his arm, is it?
Not our policy.
Well, he can still make himself useful. Tell me, you feel up to doing a little light work on the bridge?
Anything you say, sir?
Yeah, he's doing it.
Nothing difficult, I mean. I'll try, sir. Proud of all of you. But we are facing a crisis. The others a hand, eh? Fetch and carry, a spot of paint here and there. What do you say? Come on, follow me.
Okay, saan tayo magawin? Pets.
Minutes.
Japanese. Apo. Yes, lots of bats.
Could have done it. I was ready. Are you hit, sir?
Let's go. I didn't give orders for a halt. We all need it. You climb high. You're 5 hours fast march from the objective.
Keep walking on that foot, you'll bleed to death. You stop, we stop.
You can't study the layout of the bridge after dark. You've got to get there before sundown. Joyce, I wouldn't hesitate to leave you here, and you know that.
He doesn't know it, but I do. You'd leave your own mother here if the rules call for it.
You're in command now, Shears.
Sick with your heroics. There's a stench of death about you. You carry it in your pack like the plague. Explosives and L-pills, they go well together. Don't destroy a bridge or destroy yourself. This is just a game, this war. And crazy with courage, for what? How to die like a gentleman. How to die by the rules. To live like a human being.
This is war, so.
I'm not gonna leave you here to die, Warden. I care about your bridge, and I don't care about your rules. Come on.
They might have to carry him. Constructed the bridge.
Sorry we brought you along.
It's such a solid, well-designed job. Not like the temporary bridges the enemy usually throws together. Imagine being forced to build something like that in the condition they must be in.
Came down there on his knees. The Japanese seem to be enjoying it.
Constructed by the soldiers of the British Army. It's in 1943.
It's against the piles, about 3 feet under the water item is. where to hide it. Side of the river is quite obviously used by the Japanese. They'd spot it at once. And the grey rock just below them in that little beach. Wrong side of the river, but it's the only hiding place within feasible distance.
And sir, I was the best swimmer in my course.
A spot on our side of the bank where you can cover, Joyce. Right. The eye will be with you, so the two of you should be able to occupy. Set up the mortar here to create an additional diversion if necessary. River, which means building a raft. Yai, 3 women to help you build the raft. One will stay here with me. All right, I'll get over. I hope you get that medical discharge, and not the hard way.
Building a raft.
Beautiful creation. Tomorrow it will be 28 years to the day that I've been in the service. 8 years in peace and war. I've been at home more than 10 months in all that time. Still, it's been a good life. I love India. Suddenly you realize you're nearer the end than the beginning. What the sum total of your life represents. The difference your being there at any time made to anything. Or if it made any difference at all, really. Whether that kind of thinking is very healthy. But I must admit I've had some thoughts on those lines from time to time. Last. I must be off. The men are preparing some sort of entertainment.
Would matter in the world today.
What's she writing? I'm trying to set up the detonation. There's some Japanese in there.
It will enable us to transport the sick and the disabled. The two has kindly permitted me to stay behind with Major Clipton and the sick men. And we'll rejoin you in a few days' time. God willing, we all return to our homes again. You're going to feel very proud to all our countrymen, soldier and civilian alike. You have turned defeat into victory.
Now, you got everything? Sten, ammunition, pack, canteen, knife.
Yes.
Esther says there's always one more thing to do. Can't think of what it could be. A long and happy life.
Thank you.
I'm low. The river's gone down.
The water level is decreasing.
You can see the wire.
Yeah, they can see. And cover. You couldn't see the wire.
Don't wait for the train. Do it now.
Whose information is correct, the train should be along in 5 or 10 minutes.
If you don't mind, sir, I'll watch the ceremonies from up on the hill.
Honestly, Clifton, sometimes I don't understand you at all.
Well, as you once said, sir, I've got a lot to learn about the army.
River's gone down in the night.
Train is coming. You can see the wire. Well, get out there. Going to the opposite.
Something rather odd going on. I think we better have another look round before that train comes across.
Gaps in the wire. Someone hiding there.
He's leading them right to it. Our own man.
Going Cornelis.
Was right. There is something going on.
Do it now.
I've just realized the bridge has been mined.
Mined?
Good boy.
British officer, here to blow up the bridge.
Blow up the bridge? Blow up the bridge? Yes, look out, there's no... No! Help!
He's gone mad.
Kill him!
Let me go, sir. You don't understand, sir. Help!
So, and there's a disaster.
What have I done?
Lana.
Madness. Madness.
This is with the ending. Actually, previous story movie. This one of the best picture of the year. And it's depth and result. And then, we'll see you in the next video.